morning, guys. Rick Shaw here. It's Thursday, the 14th of October, 2021. I got my little buddy there. And my other little buddy's going to get his little push bike. He loves that little pusher bike with no pedals. And he goes pretty quick on it. But wanted to talk to you something about I think it's starting to be a danger now, because we're really seeing quite a few of them. But we thought we saw, and what in the description we gave to the people around here said, yeah, it was definitely a cobra that my son and I ran over up on the upper street. Well, since then, the workers have been sighting them, and we're seeing them. We're seeing these dang things on our walk. They're like a tannish type color, and they're not too fat. Now I've seen some other ones. I've seen some darker ones that were much thicker, and some green ones, and they were pretty much going the other way. But these, there comes little Mr. Pedally McPedally, come riding past. Come on over there, look, there he goes. But I think the reason why we're getting so many of these dang snakes now is because of this crap. The wall there got fell out. They put all this weight here, and it just shoved up against it, and the whole wall fell down into the river there. Now, way up on the other end, also, the wall had been broken some and fell out quite a bit. Well, they knocked a bunch out to replace it and put a new footer in and all that. Well, up on that end, we've been seeing tons of snakes also. It's getting to be quite a few. It's we lived in GMA. We had some cobras in our attic, which we went up and got and took them out of there. And that was the only time we ever had any dealings with any snake or anything like that. And then when we moved to Carmona, we lived in two different places in Carmona before we came here. No snakes. There was no problem with snakes anywhere. Didn't even see them. Now that we're out here, we're kind of on the in between two developments. Morning, Ignay. Hi. Say good morning. That's Tatai's boy. They maintain around people's houses pretty good. But yeah, we're just seeing quite a few of them here. There's places in the fence. Plus the trees grow over like this, and I know they come over and they'll drop in. But when it comes to like the cobras and stuff, I know people don't like snakes around, but with these kids and stuff, I got to keep them close. Mooma has a tendency to get far walking away from us. So, there's a real low area right there in the fence where there's trees and stuff. But I do know they're coming up to get these little mice. I think this area, once they get the houses in and all the grass is cut, that it's not going to be so bad. Yeah. No running with a belly full of steak. I know this isn't a danger or anything, but it's something to look out for. But getting a good steak. Well, this morning, well, it wasn't this morning. It was yesterday. I salted one of those steaks. I packed it in salt and just left it sitting out, and for a day and overnight. And then this morning I decided to cook it, so rinsed it off real good. And it was, they're 1 inch thick. I couldn't get thinner ones, and that makes them even tougher. Well, we cooked that steak this morning, same as the other one. It came right off the next cut of it, and I think I got 5 left now. Boy, did that help, guys. I was going to do a salt one first, and then next week when we have a steak like that, I was going to do a baking soda cure, because that really tenderizes them. I've done that. It just changes the flavor somewhat. Yeah, we'll go up that way. But that salt cure we did, holy mackerel. I packed it pretty good in salt, put it underneath like a cake form, and left it sit. Okay, come on.
Can you get that one?
No. You're on a bike. No. So it was unbelievable, the night and day for the steak. It just tenderized it up. And they do all have a real funny colored fat on them, because they don't feed them corn. The fat doesn't get as clear. This one had a little bit more fat on it than I've seen on a lot of them. You know, it was getting towards the end of it. You can see how they cut. You know, it gets to the end. Now I've got a couple more of them.
Walk around the circle.
Yeah, we can walk around it. And when you get to the end, there's a little more fat towards the outside, but it's a real yellowy fat, and but good. But another thing here, a danger. This is something that you guys all should know this by now. Is these dang stinking dogs. You know, we don't. Hey, not too far ahead. We don't run into too many. They generally try to go the other way, and I'm not saying it's like you're going to get attacked or anything like that. That's not the worry. But if you're riding a motorcycle, forget it, guys. They pop out from everywhere. My wife and I, when we got this last bike here, we were going up to her brother's place. He left his cell phone here, so we decided to run all the way up to Channahwan where he was working and bring it to him. And we're coming around a big 18-wheeler sitting on the side of the road, and I'm doing, you know, it's trafficy, so I'm not flying or anything. I'm doing a moderate speed, and we just got stopped. This dang dog just popped right out from there. They don't, you know, they're like some of the people. They don't look. They just decide they're going across the street and go. And a lot of them, you see a lot of them run over. We've seen so many dogs hitting the road since I've been in here. When I was in the States, it wasn't too often you seen a dog hitting the road. I just never saw that many. I think in my whole life I saw 3 dogs that got hit. One of them was mine. But yeah, that's it. Here, oh my, I've have to seen at least 60 to 70 dogs hitting the road here since the 9 years I've been here. Yeah, and no, let's go this way. I don't want to get too far from the house. We had yesterday, I'm glad I didn't do anything with the bike. We had the sun come out. It was beautiful. The sun came out, we went for a walk, and I said, yeah, I'm going to go home and I'll get to pull the bike out and start working on it. And while I was rounding up the tools and stuff, that sun disappeared and it started pouring, guys. You just never know how fast the weather's going to change here. It just, boom. We're still in a rainy season. That's another thing you got to watch out here for the flooding and stuff. I know north they're really getting pounded up there. I haven't heard anything. If it's drained off pretty good, probably has. But that's something you got to watch out for. Roads getting washed out. You got to be careful of that. You got to watch for water on the roads for hydroplaning when you're driving. You know, there's lots of things. It's the same like in the States. No, we're gonna go this way. We walked around the circle.
No, we didn't.
Shh. So these are things just to look out for. I don't think a lot of this is super dangerous. I think the most dangerous thing, I haven't heard also, you know, about the snakes and stuff. That seems kind of dangerous, but I haven't ever heard of anybody getting bitten by one here. Maybe way out in the provinces or anything. But see how they let the grass get all up on the road here. And that actually when we were up walking, there's a wall that they fixed up on our thing. They had it out for a while, and it's like there's like a dry river bed and an old foundation over there. I actually went through and walked in there. It's not too grown up like this. You can actually walk through in spots. That had been somebody's home at one time, so it didn't have all this stuff in it. It's kind of more like a wood lot than anything. And then when you it's a good ways to the road. So it's a pretty long hike to the road. But when we were walking out on the road, I took the kids for a little hike. Instead of just in here, we got out on the street and we're walking. And we saw a snake up ahead, crossing the sidewalk, and he slipped into one of the storm drains. And it was a pretty long one, because he came off the sidewalk like here, and then right into one of the storm drains. And they're not sewers, they're storm drains. And I don't know if he was going after a mouse or something, but he was going quickly. But it looked like a pretty dang long snake, and it was a tannish colored job. So he's all the way up by the road now. You know, I think they're coming out of this river here. So you have to watch out for these guys. we go the other way. When I'm walking, I see one ahead, I'll turn around. I don't go by any of these snakes because I don't know. I said this before. I had a brother-in-law that got bit. When we used to coon hunt and stuff like that. Didn't croak, but you gotta watch. You have to watch for these dang things. But you don't hear too much of it. I never hear much of any kind of spider bites or anything getting killed by that. I do know here it's automatic. If you do get bit or even nipped by a dog where it breaks the skin, it's rabies shot time, guys. So that's why I got to be careful. The dogs usually carry a stick. I did see. I was walking last night, kind of raining a little bit, just misty, and I saw that dog out again, and I grabbed a piece of, somebody left a big piece of tie, and I tied it around his neck and just started walking him. Some guy said, "Hey, what you doing with my dog?" And I said, "I'm returning to you. You got loose again, and he's crapping all over in my area." Oh, so he grabbed him, and it's a nice dog. It's a beautiful, like a Labrador. He looks like, he's blonde, but he's thick. He's a real thick dog. I mean, he's a dog I'd love to have. He's beautiful. And there's some nice dogs here. The one dog we call Boner, it's just a pup that lives in that dang box up there, and it's, that's a sadness thing for me to watch that. I've always been a keeper of dogs. I've loved them. I never had a bad one, really. I've always had good dogs. I did have one dog that it actually went berserk, not against me, but it got real crazy, and got out. I had a little hip roof thing, and it went out on there, and it fell. It didn't fall to its death, but it fell to where she got busted up pretty good. And them days I didn't have money for a vet, but no broken bones, just banged real good. But why she went berserk one day? Now me, I was over there. You're gonna bite me, I'll end you. That's my mentality, my dog. But she wasn't after me. It was just guests that I had there. And I had to corral her out that window, and then there was like a little hip roof. I had to get her out and I was telling those guys, "Hey, head out the door," and they're just standing there like idiots. I don't know what was about them that she didn't like. I don't know what the deal was, but she healed up from that and never happened again. And she was a pretty good dog. So, but I'm going to go ahead and let you go. We're heading back towards the house. I don't want to get too far because I don't know if it might start really pouring here. It's just crazy how the rain is, and I think because all this wet and everything, why we're getting these snakes coming through here. Plus with the construction, like this kind of stuff that sits here for a week on end. This is all where they're going to hide, and mice are going to hide in there. So this is what we're getting now. And I when you start seeing snakes, it's not because they're just decided to come into your neighborhood. It's because they're finding food. And morning. So when you have this, another thing I didn't like. Hey, get away from there! Get away from there! I don't like how they stack these blocks. I've seen these big piles fall over. I tell the kids stay away from there. They stack them way too high. It's just ridiculous. But this here too, right now, this is another thing where the mice are hiding in there, the little tiny mice. Because you see the cats. See, the cats are around here. Last night I was watching them when I was sitting out. They were hunting right here, waiting. So that's a bad thing. You got to watch having any kind of big piles of debris and stuff around your place, because that's where they hide. I like this all clipped down really good. We'll get Tati again to cut, but when you got that kind of stuff, it'll sit there for a hell of a long time. That gives all the critters a place to hide, and that's not good. So it's a nice, cool morning. Kind of beautiful. We got up, had our breakfast and everything already, and this is Rickshaw. What are you guys gonna say?
Rickshaw!
Hey! Okay, guys, we'll see ya.